Hello. So I was given expertise critiquing of our last video that we did this way, and my daughter was very upset with us that we were not both in each other's cameras. So we have fixed that issue. We have pivoted and adjusted, and now we're here again, and we are going live from
4009 Aiden Place in White Plains, Maryland.
So we are back. New construction, open houses. This is what we're doing. So, hey Melanie. So we are doing open house from new construction. We are at the Somerset model. This is let me get some details for you guys because we do have a couple of these available. Just in the price sheet.
So the one the one they have now will have gas, but the ones that's coming up will go to electric. They're phasing out gas here. And a lot of new construction are phasing out gas, so a lot of things are going to electric.
Hey Beth Ann.
So the price point, they have one. Now the one they have that's going to be delivered in June for the Somerset will be will have gas, and that price is $647,290. And then later on in the year, the one they have delivered that'll be electric, but it'll be $648,690, and that is the Somerset.
So the Somerset, the square footage on this is okay. I hate when I'm not. You had it. I think you have it. No, I could be lying. It could. Two things could be true.
It's usually around.
No, they don't tell you on this one. They just tell you dimensions. Is it on here?
No, it's not on that one, but it's used. It's a little like 25 to 28.
Yeah, this one. This one is.
Give me 1 second. I'll tell you.
Yeah, just in the she know where it's at. It's on the sign out front. So let's hey ladies, I hope you guys are having an amazing Saturday just as we are. The weather is absolutely stunning here. Melanie, do not brag on your Florida weather. We don't want to hear about it. That's what I know. How much is it?
$23.21, which does not include the basement. So
yes.
Whenever you see homes that tell you the square foot and you have 3 levels and the basement is in the ground, they do not include that square foot.
Well,
if it's new construction, but on some resale homes, well, some people do count it, but you have to look and make sure they said either above or below.
But the thing is, the confusion comes in when you see Redfin houses. You see houses listed on Redfin. Redfin gives you the total square footage, so it can get confusing to some people because they are including the basement when most of us do not. Our MLS system where we search for houses here does not include the basement in that roundup. So if you're looking for a 3,500 square foot and you want it to be the top 2 levels that big, then you would. On Redfin, you would look for something like 4,500 to 4,700 square foot or more because they include all 3 levels. That's just something they do. It's called the GLA, the ground living area. So ground living area for us is our basement because we're in Maryland. That's something we have that's super popular here. Other states, North Carolina, I know Florida really doesn't have basements. Some areas like that, especially close to water. The water tables are super high. They do not have basements. So that is one of the luxuries we have here. So this Somerset is this is like a mid-level house. It is very spacious, but for those who, it just depends on the layouts you want and what you're looking for in a home, you will probably, it just all depends on what you want because it's got that massive island. It's a really nice size island, double ovens, all the features that most people are looking for in their new construction home. And if you wanted a sitting room, this in your bedroom, this is probably not the house for you. But the bump out gives you the sitting room.
And that's a thing also that we wanted to talk about. Like if you're looking in new construction and you have options to bump a house out versus upgrades, like simple upgrades as backslashes and different like finishing the basement, I would tell you to do the structural things first because you cannot come back and do structural later. So you will bump this house out first and then you can do the other finishes later, but you can never come back and do that bump out again.
But you can do the structural things later. It's just who would you trust?
Well, yeah.
Because the whole daggone house fall down around your ears and everybody be looking crazy when the whole back of the house is sliding down a hill.
I wouldn't
because
tell you to do
trusted
that.
the wrong person.
Right. I wouldn't tell you to
do it.
I wouldn't tell you to do structure later because now then you have to worry about all the structure around the house to make sure it's still intact. Now you can mess up some of your warranties if you mess with that structure around there, because if you got a warranty on that and you get somebody on the outside to come do some work to it, they have messed with the structure. So is your new construction still going to keep that warranty on your home after you had someone else come in and mess with the structure?
So let me tell you, I saw some people. Do you remember? Okay, so older homes generally have walls. The kitchen used to be blocked off. Everything used to be very cornered off. So people, we went into this whole phase where everybody was knocking the wall down, and they were opening up kitchens and dining rooms, and you walk in houses and everything was wide open. It was a new thing, right? So I went in this one house, and they took that wall down. Evidently, nobody checked.
See the structure.
Nobody checked. So the ceiling was slumped in that one area because no one knew which wall should and shouldn't move. So it's very important that you have the right people on your side when it comes to doing those type of projects. And Harry homeowner, please do not be in your own house knocking a wall down. I know you can do it. I know you've seen it on HGTV and YouTube taught you how, but please make sure you know. No, because YouTube
University tell you everything. But they're not there to check your structure.
Yeah, they're not there for that. You be done bust a hole in
your
the
homes
pipe.
Could look similar.
Crazy.
Your homes could look similar, but the beams and the places could be in different places. So you would definitely need somebody to come out and check which walls are holding. It's a structure wall that holds up everything before your house
Understanding
comes down.
If you have to move plumbing, if you have to move electric, how important is this stuff to you? So, one of my favorite rooms, and I talk about this all the time, is the sunroom. I love a sunroom. I love to see them on the houses. I feel like it brightens up the space and gives you so much more natural light, which this house has. And of course, we'll do a walkthrough at some point. But when you hear sunroom additions, usually I hear anywhere from 15 to 20,000 to add a sunroom into a house, and people balk at the cost, like, oh, that little room, that's nothing. But in true form, that sunroom bumps down into the basement, that extra space. And in my own home, that was one of the bonuses that we loved, because that sunroom bumping down to our basement created a lot of extra space for us that our neighbors that have different model homes don't have. So we were able to take advantage of. We have a pool table section in ours, and we still have our living section where we can watch TV and hang out and all that good stuff. So it is a nice advantage. So when you see that kind of cost, that's usually what it's associated. You're not just doing one floor. You could potentially be doing 2, 3 floors. A lot of houses have big bump outs when it comes to that addition, and adding it all the way on those levels makes it such a nice floor plan and really nice.
Yeah, this one bumps up also to the primary suite, so it has a nice sitting room up there also. So it's a nice area.
Yeah.
So you have a nice little lounge up there. It can fit a whole couch and chairs. So it's a nice space up there with the bump out.
Yeah. Another thing that I think is super important when it comes to adding on to your house, things that you just should not neglect or just not do, is that area way. And I mean providing access out of your basement other than an egress window. The egress window is that window with the little ladder and you crawl out. That's for safety reasons. You should have that access. But the area way or the double area way is usually anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000, depending on the scale of the house and depending on what type of doors you get and how much they have to do. If it's a walk up, walk out, all the different things that come in the basement. But I will tell you what, that house without that basement door is hard to sell. It is a hard resale. A lot of people don't like to come in that basement and feel like they can't get out. And it's a great way to be able to move furniture into the basement as opposed to knocking all your walls as you go down the steps and things of that nature. It's a must for me.
I've only seen one person when we were in the vineyards that didn't want it either. But it's really a safety issue. I mean, when you got people trying to get out, if it was a fire or something, somebody trying to get out, you need to get out. But even if you're having a function and even if you're doing something in the backyard, it's another way to be in and out the house, back and forth, without going through the whole house. But
Well, I'm
think
just
about
saying
it. The window, you definitely have to. You're definitely going to have the window regardless. But having that door is better.
Well, at a point, houses it wasn't a requirement for houses to even have the window. Now that's a new law and rule in different places that you have that
Safety.
Yeah, but the house I sold recently, they didn't have no window, they didn't have no basement. Every time we went down there, it felt dark. And it was like all the furniture that was down there, somebody had to get it all the way back up the steps. So it was a lot of maneuvering. So some of the things that we moved in our basement, through the back door, the pool table, the treadmill, the sectional, just about everything we have in that basement was brought through the back door. It was such an easier way just to move furniture in and out, and it just was and we did knock my walls out of socket when we were doing it. But that's some of the things that we sit down and have conversations with. We know everybody wants granite. We know everybody wants really nice cabinets, stainless steel appliances, wide plank flooring. And I will say with Lennar, that's usually a standard. You don't even have to think about those type of things. One of the things that you do have to add, and it's not in this house, is usually a fireplace. Mm-hmm. The gas fireplace in the family room. Some of the additions usually here are the bump out is the sunroom, the basement back door to leave out. At the areaway, adding that fireplace, potentially finishing the basement and putting a bedroom down there is also an additional thing that some people do. But I know this thing is a new thing for us. A lot of the builders have gone away from letting you pick every option. Some builders, they have just started putting things together. You pick, you choose which one you want, and you keep it moving. I was at Kate Hovanian yesterday in Upper Marlboro, and they have already spec'd out a long number of houses for the next few months. So you're just kind of coming in and just picking which one you like the best.
Stanley, is doing that also in Brandywine. You just pick which one you like. And a lot of them, when I talk to one of the builders, it's because they could get halfway through and they get a lot of clients that keep changing their mind. And once they have permitted for a lot of stuff, it takes a while. You take a while to get permits. So right now, they're getting all their permits in order. They just build it. You might be able to get in there early enough to pick color.
Yeah. But not even just, I'm sorry, I got out of the camera. I want my daughter to have her critique. But one of the things also that really changed the game for a lot of people was COVID. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of the builders were getting the supplies and the countertops and the flooring and the cabinets and they were getting it and they were ordering it and they had to order so far in advance that you changing your mind really wasn't an option. Mm-hmm. You were hindering delivery. So that's why I know that was a big shift in a lot of their businesses when they stopped giving us that option, because some of us even ordering appliances for our own homes were on the hook, waiting forever and ever and ever. Mm-hmm. Furniture, all kinds of things were on hold that we had to wait for during that time. And I don't even know if we truly have caught up.
So now it's just like when you buy a house, it's just like you going to the store. You just pick which one you like. You pick which one you like. And they will have a lot of different options. They're not putting the same thing in every single house. No. They do change. Some of them are upgraded, some of them are standard. So you do have the option to go in, and they will have different color things. They will have a different variety that you can choose from. And they can let you know exactly where that location is going to be, because some of these houses already are on paper or how they're going to be built. So you can just go, once you go into the office and see one of the reps, they can tell you exactly what to expect and what the house that you're looking for, where to be built at. But let's go on to, resale houses. So if we're going into a resale house and a seller wants to know, to put the house on the market, what things should they think about fixing up first?
Mm-hmm. I would say the places in the house that I know are the places that people are looking for is the kitchen, the bathrooms, and the flooring. Mm-hmm. Those are going to be your game changers.
First, we got to declutter the house. We have to declutter. Take all the personalized stuff out. I'm not going to tell you no joke. Take all that personalized stuff out, because what you like, the next person doesn't want to like. Take a lot of stuff off the walls, because people cannot imagine the way you have your house decorated. Once they come in there, they can't imagine there's stuff in there. So try to make it as plain, as simple as you can. Declutter. Take everything out that you're not using.
Most definitely. Oh my God, act like you don't live there anymore. That's one of the things. I mean, because I've heard people say, "Oh, are they truly moving? They don't look like they packed up and they don't want to go."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "No, you pack like you're not going to live here. Pack, be uncomfortable. It's to the point, almost to the point of uncomfortable, where people have to guess if you live there because you live so clear."
Yes.
Clear. That's the only word I can think of.
So I would say make sure like it's very clean. And if you're going to put any money into the house, the items that you got to make sure that you'll get a return on it. There's no such thing as, like we had a lady before, she wanted to paint the garage. Why? It wasn't going to give you no return. That's just wasting money right there. Nobody cares about if that garage was painted versus that kitchen being painted.
Most definitely.
You know, or you did the floors over.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure you know where the money is to put the money to make it make sense.
And when you bring that instance up, let's also bring up the fact of how the paint is done. Because everybody can't paint. Mm-hmm. Everybody can't paint.
They had kids painting, and I was at, because now that you don't want to invest in your home, just leave it alone. Give a credit then. Because if you're not going to get it, if you're going to buy paint and waste it, letting somebody unprofessional paint it, and you got paint on the ceiling and the floors, you just wasted your money. You should have just gave a paint credit.
So this brings up, so when we talk about renovating and what cost really makes sense, and if you get your true value at the end of the day, one of the things that a lot of people we've come across lately they don't have the disposable cash to do the renovations to the level that they really want to get it done to sell the house at the price they want to sell it at. So with that being said, the money is in the house. So how do you get the money out of the house to make the renovations? We have come across in the past 2 years a ton of contractors that pay at closing. And they do amazing work. They get in, they get out, because they know that the better job they do and the quicker it's done, the quicker they get paid. They know helping us make the houses perfection helps us sell the houses quicker.
And for a higher amount.
I literally just moved a house from $550 to $575 based on $10,000 worth of work. Painting the entire house, fixing things up, landscaping, cleaning up, all little things all throughout the house. That $10,000 equated to $25,000 for my client, and he walked away with a ton more money than he was expecting by taking the time and energy to doing that work. But also the end result was the fact that the money was there in the house. It was not disposable. It was not his account. He didn't have it, and we had an amazing contractor that came through and really got everything together. And our contractors are the best. I adore them. Which is a little sensitive, and we're not here to tell nobody's business, but we have had people who are in a bind and they need to sell their homes. They really do. They need to get out of their homes. And here's the fun part about it. They have a ton of equity, and they're behind on their payments, but sometimes people are in a bind and they're stuck and they don't know what to do. So they feel like if they don't do anything, it is what it is. But there is definitely a light at the end of that tunnel when it comes to needing to let go of something and gaining even more.
Right. It's because like she's saying, they have a lot in that house. So because you can't make your payment, but you have equity in that house. So there's a way, like she said, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Now, if you have to let go of this house, and versus not doing anything and losing your house altogether.
And foreclosure.
Mark on your credit.
Yeah.
And now you can't even buy for a while. So what you do is let the house go. Sell it. Not let it go far as losing it. So put the house on the market before it goes into foreclosure. Even if it's in foreclosure and you don't have a court note or a court date, you can get it sold before then. Get it sold, get all that equity out there, and get yourself positioned to buy the next house when you're ready. But don't lose all your equity.
Don't lose it. Because it's possible. We learned really quickly last year, someone told us that they were in an active foreclosure. appear and discuss this. And I said, no. She says, okay.
All they had was a note on the door.
All they had was a note on the door, and it had been received months prior. So we were in a situation, it could have been, but because we priced the house right, we did not renovate this house because we didn't know if we didn't have that kind of time and energy to put, into that. We did price the house right. They did walk away with money. They did not get a stain on their credit, and they were able to move on in life. It's a thing, and I know, sometimes I feel like it's embarrassing for some people to feel like, oh, we're behind and, we don't have it, and, we're just going to sit here. No, truly.
Because then where you going to go?
Yeah. And with nothing.
Yeah.
Where you going to go with nothing?
And a mark on your credit, so now you cannot even buy, so you would have to go rent. But you didn't knock your credit score down by having this foreclosure also and not paying the bill. So you're going to have a mark on it.
So take advantage of the opportunities. And my thing is not just us, but any real estate professional that's going to tell you what the true value of your home is. And I get it, y'all. I really, truly, honestly do. Those commercials sound absolutely amazing when they tell you they can buy your house in 7 days. You ain't got to fix nothing. You ain't got to do nothing. They are lowballing you. They are lowballing you to the greatest opportunity they can. I had clients that had no mortgage. Their intent was to walk away with. They wanted to sell the house and walk away with like $200,000. So they had no mortgage, but they had bye Beth Ann. So they had some work that needed to be done. They had significant work that needed to be done. They did upgrade their kitchen, but unfortunately they didn't knock down any walls and do anything crazy like that. And so it didn't give them the space that they, most people were truly looking for. So they got a quote from one of those companies, and I can't think of a name of one of them, and I'm not gonna call nobody name because next thing you know we be getting a cease and desist. I get enough of them anyway. But they sent them a message and they said, we'll sell your house for $250. Well, by the time they got done with an 8-hour inspection and a whole laundry list, they were down in the ones somewhere.
Mm-hmm. And that's not even including what they got to pay out to close this house.
So they were like, whoa, that's not what y'all shared with us. You started at this really high price and made us feel like we were going to do it. And that's what they do. They come in with this really high price and they tell you, and I don't know if my real estate buddies get these emails that they got these hot properties, come see them this day. Mm-hmm. And they don't truly have these houses under contract and they're just trying to sell them before they give us a call. So I know we get a bad rep and all this stuff, but truly, if any real estate person sits down with you, they should be giving you the true market value. They should be showing you examples of what's sold in your community and the condition of the house, so you can truly know where you should be marked as far as market value of your home, and that would help a ton of people. But I was able to come in and assess and tell them, hey, this is how much you're probably going to get. I can call some investors over. They came over with cash. It takes 10 days in Maryland to close because you need enough time for them to pull title and make sure that things are clear. Not 7 days. 7-day people aren't good. Not going to say it no more. And I'm not going to name no names because I can't even think of them right now. But I get enough emails.
Make sure you do your research.
And the commercials drive me bananas. Do your research. Mm-hmm. Don't let anybody take you fast. And don't think just because we're real estate agents that you have to fix your house up. You have to do all these things.
You don't.
We have the resources and we have the people that can help you with all types of issues.
Because it all depends on how much money you want to get out of it. Now, if you're fine with selling it as is, with the condition that it is. Now, let me tell you also, as is not always as is. Because if the appraiser says something has to be fixed, it has to be fixed. No matter if you said it was as is, that's how you sell it. The appraisal has that final word. If they tell you that stove is not working because of a burner or something not burning, you have to replace it or get it fixed. You have to do exactly what the appraiser says.
Most definitely.
So, it goes on what your intentions on what you want to walk away with. If you're fine selling as is, or if you want to put a little money in it to get top dollar for it, you have a lot of options, and that's on you because it's your home. You choose what you want to do, what makes you comfortable.
Most definitely. Okay, so the other thing that we were going to talk about, we made notes so we could be organized today. we're growing up. So some of the new homes that we are selling, they won't have natural gas in them anymore. Propane is a big thing down here in Southern Maryland, but I don't know if it's a thing with the gas company not being able to keep up. I'm not sure what's happening on that end, but a lot of the houses are electric and they're full electric. And I'm talking about suburb communities with HOAs and everything. They're going to be electric homes. But deeper in like Hughesville and certain places like that, they'll have propane as well. But electric is the new.
Yes, and the new construction builders are not putting propane in for you. That would be something that you could do afterwards. Now it is possible if you wanted to turn your house to a gas stove. It is possible, but you would have to do that after the sale because they're not responsible for changing that up for you. Even if you requested, it's a no because they're not putting gas they're phasing that out. So if you want gas that bad, there's a way that it can be done, but it'll be all on you.
I would personally like to get to the bottom of what's going on and why that's happening. I'm just curious. I'm a person.
Y'all know, let us know.
But look, I'm a person that I love gas. When I cook, gas is my.
It cooks evenly.
It cooks so different. I've never been a fan of electric. And yeah, I know that tick 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 boom, that thing bothers people, but that's how I love to cook. So with that being said, the controversy. Have people been talking about their electric bills for the past few months, and it's getting outrageous. My mother has a Rambler in Camp Springs. She said her bill was like $600 or $700.
I was too, and I was split 4 years, so it's crazy.
And I have natural gas.
But guess what?
And you got propane
now, and they've been doing it anyway. But the solar people are out there like crazy now. They're gonna try to get you them solars, so.
Oh my heavens!
Get the solar.
No,
I'm not getting it because it's crazy trying to sell a house with solar panels.
No, I just went.
It's a pain. I won't say it is.
It is
a pain.
It is.
You have obstacles to do because it depends on what they owe on them solar panels. Because you may have to take over a lease and you may have to be. You may have to apply and make sure you're approved to take over that. And do you want to take over another 20-year lease of some solar panels?
I'm still feeling the pain from a deal.
Even if it goes through, people just, it's there. We can't help it. And if you take them off, the thing about it is if they take them off, you don't know what's under there with the holes that they drilled in it. There's a whole bunch
I'm not
of things.
a fan. If you got solar panels and you love them, amen. God bless you. But I'm here to tell you, if you're about to sell your house, be prepared for the shenanigans. Be prepared. And if you do not own them, please look at that contract.
Check it.
Read that contract back and forth so people understand what they're getting into when the buyers come to purchase your home. These are all the questions you're going to get. How does the power purchase agreement work? What are they grading it on? It's called, and this one company was called a power purchase agreement. You were paying per kilowatt for the hours. So at some point, and then you have a stipulation of how long you're in the contract.
But the thing about it is they do have solars now that you never own. So that means you have to pay their lease out, and you have to pay for the whole time that you're in this house. You will never own them.
Yeah.
So even when you try to sell the home, now you got to see if the next owner is going to want to take on a lease that never ends.
Yeah, because the deal we just did, they have another 10 years on the contract, and it's like, they just weren't excited about the stipulations and how it had worked out and all the things that come. It's very, and one of the things that came up was even the bank had questions. The bank wanted to know more things, and that we had to keep going back to the solar panel company and telling them, hey, this is what they're looking for. They want to know this information. And one of the things was, in the event of a foreclosure, not saying my client was going to foreclose, but in the event of a foreclosure, where does the solar company run when it comes to the line of debtors, like the mortgage and taxes? Where do you run in the instance of how do you carry a foreclosure, and how does this all roll out, and how insistent will you be to get your money before the house can be turned over to the bank. So that was a big conversation back and forth that we had to get to the bottom of before it got too close to selling. One of these questions answered. So it was, once again, if it works for you, I personally just don't want them on my house. I fought to get a new roof last year, and I'm here to tell you, that roof, my husband worked his butt off to get that roof done. The insurance companies, we pay them, and they want to ask every question under the sun before they pay us back. So my husband did all the work when it came to going back and forth with the roof company and the insurance company to get us a new roof. So I dare anybody to try to come put a solar panel on top of my new roof. That, no ma'am. Can't do it. Can't do it.
So yeah, solars is a no for her.
Solar's a no for me.
My husband doesn't go for solars either. They keep coming to the house and he keeps telling them no.
They visit you frequently.
Yeah, they come
really
out
do.
often. So solars is a no.
They really do.
But also, before we even finish up this conversation and even give you a little bit of view of this home, they do have different models down here. I know they have the Danbury. They have the Richmond. The Richmond is a hot solar now. Yeah. The Richmond is priced really well. That's in the low fours.
They have a Richmond with a basement. And it's the hot thing this week. And that Richmond is 508. The Richmond is a 5-bedroom, 3-bath house without the basement. So just imagine adding another bathroom and bedroom on.
Yeah.
That, and at 508, that's good.
The one they have over on the next street that they have for the open house today, it does not have a basement, and that's listed in the low fours. So
460, 450, 460, something like that.
50.
Yeah, something.
Because that one does have some stuff added to it.
Yeah. But it's really, really nice. 5-bedroom, 3-bath. There's a video on both of our channels with that Richmond walkthrough, and everybody really loved it. They have townhomes over here. The detached garage is back again. So that was super popular. That adds probably about another 300 square feet to the floor plan.
You think it's only 3?
Yeah, I saw it the other week.
Okay.
With the garage, it was like 21. And then without it, it was like 23 and some change.
Okay.
So it was, but it's a really nice space that you get another walk-in area.
So the detached, they have to know. So the detached garage is not like some of them hooked up on the road. So when you come out of your back basement door, you'll have a yard, and then behind the yard, you'll have a 2-car detached garage, and it's not attached to your neighbors.
No. So it's super cool. I think it's nice. I think it gives you
more space.
Gives you more space. I mean, so for those of you who need a 4-bedroom townhouse, you can really get a nice spacious 4-bedroom townhouse and still have extra entertaining space in the basement, which I have a listing across the street that's the makeup for it. So it's a nice floor plan layout. But that's what's coming back over here. There are a lot of communities that have the rear load garage and they have front load garage. So the traditional townhouse is still available to sell, but these have been super popular amongst the Richmond. Now, I know the single family homes over on this side are going quickly. I don't know what the new elementary is going to be called. Do you?
No,
we have to do our research and figure out, because some of the houses are being built right on the same road, and the school is right St. David.
St. David, yes.
It's right across the street, and the house is lined right across from this new elementary that's being built down here in White Plains. But I was in Glen Burnie last week, and I heard, or I found, and I have to do some more research. Once again, it's more research so I can bring you guys the information and bring it to you correctly. Out of the 10 hottest cities in the country, Glen Burnie, Maryland, and Silver Spring, Maryland are the hottest growing cities in the country. And they are in that top 10. I think Silver Spring was first, and Glen Burnie dropped down a couple lines and was next up on the list. So, yeah. We don't do sounds. We have to make sure.
When you seen the head turn, you be like, what's that?
We heard a sound. And if we run and leave everything behind, y'all know why.
Y'all let us know who came
We will
in.
this video will never be a witness to foolishness. All y'all know is they were there and then they left. That's what happened.
Don't have no keys or nothing.
Nothing.
We just out.
I'm going to be outside screaming. Stranger danger to the top of my lungs.
I'll
Nobody's
give
gonna.
them a small tour.
You gonna give me a tour?
Yeah, I'll give you a tour.
She sounds so. I guess I'll give y'all a tour. She got on a dress today. She real sassy when she wear dresses. That's what happens.
So let me turn this around. Let's start from the
Trying not to give y'all a boob shot today. Fix the sweater.
So let's start from the front.
Feeling sassy.
So
So
when you come in,
she's walking and you can hear her talking. But,
dining room. Now for those that don't like
this is a 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath home. Really super cute. But we've been sitting at the island in this area.
This is, you walk into the kitchen.
There
That's
she
where
go.
your gas stove is back there. That's the alternative.
We have all our stuff here
Over here.
as we're working. Isn't it
will be
good?
the bump out that
Doing
we
what we're
talked
supposed to
about.
do.
If you didn't get this wall right here would be where the house ended. This is the bump out.
We have to fix the furniture, y'all. Can't just be tearing people's house up.
Everything's open.
Okay, so this is the front door. A lot of these houses have gone away from the traditional floor plan. So you're going to see either a dining room or sitting area or a bonus space, however you want to use it here. That's usually going to be that front room. Most people only care about this space. And this space is important to them. Where the kitchen, the hub of the home is here. So you've got your family room, you've got the kitchen area. That is the sunroom bump out that we've been talking about forever and ever and ever. And this is the kitchen. So just to give you guys a nice perspective. So this is a gourmet kitchen because it has the double ovens, the cooktop range, and the vents here. So this is how that lays out. So like I said, when you're in this sunroom, it gives you all the extra space that, you know, bumps down right into the basement to give you all that, you know, good. This one also has a bonus room on this level, which makes this house super nice. It says I'll lead you around. This is the mud room that leads from the laundry down into the basement, half bath here. That's the garage door. Sorry if I'm turning too quick, but this is another room that you could have right here on the first floor. It does have a closet to it, so you can use it as a bedroom if you choose, but most people, I think, would just use it as an office. You guys have a